Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to BipolarLines, your lifeline for honest, unfiltered conversations about loving someone with bipolar disorder. I'm Brooke.
I'm Laura, and I'm so glad to be here. Today, I know everyone is on pins and needles waiting for an update from you, Brooke, and we are going to give the update. But before we get started, as per our usual, I'm going to tell you something, something that's going on in my life. But we also want to address some housekeeping items. So I just wanted to review some of those, if that sounds good with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you sent me this amazing screenshot last week, and we hit a milestone on Spotify. What was that milestone?
We hit 10,000 plays or streams, which was fantastic.
Yeah. And so we're
Yes.
so, the reason we do this podcast is not for clout or streams, but it is we just want people in our situation to have access to things we've learned in, accumulatively, I think you and I have 45 plus years of experience. I mean, both of us
Yeah.
have at least, yeah. So accumulatively us under going through it with someone with bipolar, we just want to help others who, we didn't have access to that necessarily. So
Yeah, no, we did not. And it's amazing. It's a great milestone, which brings me to, if you all are new or if you're our OG listeners, if you like our show, it speaks to you, please do us a favor. A free way to help us out and support us, it would be to subscribe, follow on whatever platform you listen to us on or watch us on. And then also just download the episodes that you do listen to. That's super helpful. It just pushes us further on the algorithm, gets us in front of more people, and hopefully the right people, which is awesome.
Yeah, because Brooke, when you went through this for the first time, or when you didn't know what was going on with Jeremy, how did you feel?
Oh, so isolated, so alone, chaotic. I mean, again, I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Legit thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I mean, and in my situation, it was more of a medical emergency, and I was in an emergency room with people telling me my husband's schizophrenic, which he isn't schizophrenic, but even if he had been, either scenario was what
Yeah.
are you talking about? What is
Yep.
even, and there's no family education.
Mm-mm.
It's
Nope.
just
None.
this is what's going on. Does this make sense now? I was like, what? No.
Yeah. No, none of this makes sense.
So that's why
Yeah.
we're here. So anyway,
Yep.
that's why we're here. And then some other cool milestones are our Facebook group, BipolarLines Pod, has over 400 members. And
So cool.
you know what I love about that group is that it's organic. If someone entered that group, BipolarLines Pod, you're not going to search for that as a search term. If
Nope.
someone is in that group, it is because they have listened to this podcast and they resonated, and they're going to resonate with other people who have gone through what, my partner has gone through and your partner has gone through. So I feel like even though, 400 might seem small to some, to me it's mighty because it's 400 of strong, solid people.
Yes. Yes. And so to the people that are in that group, thank you so much for participating, for being vulnerable. Even if you're posting anonymously, we don't care. We don't mind.
No.
That's why that option's out there. Just know that we appreciate you all and your insight, your support, your willingness to share your stories and experiences. Even if somebody isn't commenting and saying that they can relate, I promise you there are people in that group that are relating. They're just not at that point where they're ready to post. So we appreciate you all. 400 is mighty. I started in the 20s 2 years ago, which is crazy. And then when Laura jumped in, I think we were close to 100 and now we're at 400. So that's insane.
And it's a solid group is what I'm saying. So, and Brooke and I think it's worth mentioning that you and I do moderate it. So, I mean,
Yes.
we don't want we want honest. Honest is
Yep.
okay.
Yes.
Disparaging and blaming and vilifying mental illness is honestly not going to be tolerated in the group. So
No.
if that's what you want to do to bipolar, that's not the group for you.
Not it. Pick somewhere else.
Yes,
but yes,
exactly.
it is lovely to see some people that are like, hey, we just found you. I think I found my people. That's so heartwarming. It really is. I don't even know how to describe it other than I'm relieved for you, because I think I've said this before. If I could go back in time to when, the roller coaster shitstorm was happening for me, that's a reference to a TikTok series on my page. But I would have given my left arm for this kind of support, honestly. Like, it, because you just sit there and you sit in these cycles of what is happening. My world is turning upside down. My husband's leaving me. Now he's staying. Oh, he lost his job. Just all the things. So
Yes.
yeah, we appreciate you all for being here.
Yeah, and then the last milestone I just wanted to mention is something you sent me, so you could speak more to it. But you were searching bipolar podcasts and had discovered something.
Yes, so it's podcastfeedspot.com just happened to pop up, and we are listed as, what was it, top 25? Was that what it was? 25 podcasts about bipolar. We were listed as number 5, y'all. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm
so
so
crazy.
glad, like, you guys, like, we always have a disclaimer. Neither one of us are professionals in mental health, but it does almost feel like sometimes you have a degree in understanding this specific disorder because of how close we are to it. And I'm just so grateful that I connected to you, Brooke. Like, I feel like this podcast, I've said this to you personally, but I just want to say it publicly. Like, I feel like this cooperation, this partnership, whatever we want to call it, like, I feel like it has a higher meaning. And
Yeah.
it's because we both feel the same. Like, we both are so passionate about um just the knowledge your partners need to have, just spreading awareness, ending the stigma. I mean, your whole account is called End the Stigma. Like, ending the stigma, gaining knowledge, ways for families to help their person. And you're the one that actually coined that for me. I only started using that word because of you, like, your person. We end the podcast with thank you for showing up for your person, because your person can be your son, your brother, your sister, your mother, your grandma, like, whatever your person is. Like, we don't know how to show up for them in this society, and we're not taught it. And so we
Yeah.
don't have all the answers, but we want to start the conversation, and we're going to start that conversation from our first person perspective and giving you what we have collectively learned in, like,
Yep.
the 45 plus years of experience you and I have been going through this. So
Absolutely.
anyway.
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. And we've been on this, I think, posting on TikTok more. I used to post on there more. Now I'm just more on Facebook and, YouTube or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just continuing that conversation to hopefully provide others with the same sort of knowledge, or at least path of how to navigate this, because you don't know what you don't know. And again, I mean, a lot of people will say, hey, do you know any books or this, that, and the other? And I'm like, I really don't know of any books that give you the knowledge that you're likely seeking, because a lot of what we share isn't going to be found in a textbook. So
Yeah.
that's why we're here. That's honestly, it's why we're here. That's why we're doing it. And we're both passionate. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I just appreciate you.
I
I'm going to
appreciate
make
you.
my update very, very short. I was thinking in the last episode that Cody has been teetering. I don't any longer think that. It is something new for us, for him to experience some sort of dysphoric mania something and then recover from it and not have anything happen. But he did just, it's interesting because Cody has a TikTok too, and he rarely posts, but he did just post and said he's very happy with the state of his relationship with his wife and his children, and he realized how much we needed it. And then I responded to that and I just said, but you've been handling it differently this time. You've been doing meds for sleeping, which he normally wouldn't do until it was too late. And
Yep.
you've been, prioritizing your mental health, and you've been taking mental health days at work, which he would not do. I mean, he has sick days. He would not take mental health sick days. And he was. And I knock on wood, knock on
Right.
everything holy. Yeah, like that, that is what is really helping. And he was expressing his pride in that he was taking care of his mental health to a point that his family was benefiting, and it was very sweet. So I'm going
Oh,
to
I
leave it
love
at
that.
that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. And the main thing right now is our last episode was heavy, and rightfully so. And people, I think we're worried, bro, including me, including you. Forget about us. Including you and your family. So, I mean, the main part of this episode, I really want to just put that focus on you. What has been happening? My goodness, like that was a very heavy episode we dropped last time. And how are you? How are Jeremy? How is Zoe? What is going on?
Great question. Well, first, I'm glad that we are at a good spot with Cody, that you're seemingly stepping off of the hypervigilant ladder. So
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
fantastic. Yes. Things here are, I mean, it's going to sound crazy. Okay. I mean, good. I am actually seeing my husband. He is at baseline,
Wow.
and it is like mind-boggling. So much so that like I think I'm more hypervigilant because this is unexpected, right?
Yeah.
So he's here now. We're not planning on doing any sort of IOP or PHP, no step down
Wait, I'm
care.
sorry. What does that mean?
IOP, so outpatient,
Okay.
like what is, I'm drawing a blank.
Individualized outpatient,
Um,
maybe, or
intensive outpatient.
okay.
Um, and then PHP, partial hospitalization program.
Okay.
So neither of those are, we're not booked for either of those.
I'm sorry,
So
like to interrupt again, but is that
yeah,
something
no.
that normally happens after an attempt?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh,
He would
wow.
typically have to go from hospital to PHP first, and he would essentially spend full half days on site at the hospital doing group and therapy and classes and all kinds of things. And then the step down from that, which is usually like 4 to 5 weeks, would be then IOP, which is like once or twice a week.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So
wow. And all of that is just gone.
gone.
Like not existent.
Doesn't,
And
it's not on the radar.
do you feel like it was a dereliction of the hospital or something that is true for him?
So the today's Sunday,
I
whatever
know.
day
I'm like, I'm
today
sorry.
is. I picked him up on Friday. Friday, Thursday, I probably would have thought, okay, this is crazy. We should have some sort of schedule for him. Today, I'm like, no, this makes sense because he wouldn't benefit from staying in the hospital. He definitely wouldn't benefit from going to an intermediate level class. So like, because he's with it, he's of sound mind. He is at baseline. Like I don't see any signs of depressed Jeremy here. So if anything, it would do him more harm than good of going or essentially staying in the hospital. So
Is this new for you?
yes,
Yeah.
yes, this is so new. So I realized Friday, I think it was Friday. I don't even know why I realized it. There was just a moment of reflection where I was like, holy crap. I asked him one time how he was doing mentally when he was in the facility. And that was on Monday evening. I did not ask him again how he was doing mentally because essentially the illness didn't take up any space in our conversation. I was talking to my husband. So I didn't even like have to work to ask him. It was just a normal conversation. So I didn't ask him how he was doing mentally because I knew he was fine. And that was a weird place to be in. It just happened again. He was in there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I picked him up Friday morning. I didn't recognize this until Friday. So like that was crazy to me. But of course it's a
Wait,
very,
hold on, because like
yeah,
normally you feel like so I feel like this is where spouses get confused. How did you know you were talking to Jeremy and not the illness? I know you're really good at this now. It's been 20 years. But
yep,
other
it's been
people
a while.
aren't. And so then they're
Yeah,
like, who is this person? Like, I don't know who I'm talking to. Do they really mean what they say? How do I know what they
yep.
meant what they said? Like, how did you know you were talking to the real Jeremy?
So at no point during any of our conversations did anything that we talk about refer back to his mental health or how he was feeling that wasn't at his baseline. So there weren't any suicidal ideation thoughts. There wasn't any talk of me needing to find somebody better that suited me better, that could take care of me.
Give me an
Not
example. Pretend I'm you and I'm talking
mhm.
and pretend you're Jeremy. Sorry,
Okay.
because I want the audience to like really understand
Yeah,
what
no,
this looks
great.
like. And so yeah, I'm gonna be like, hey babe, how you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good, babe. How are you? I know you're at work. It's been a rough day. Do you have a couple minutes to talk?
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear from you. Like, are you, like, what's going on right now?
Well, it's a little chaotic here. There's a lot going on, but I'm doing okay. I've eaten, I took a nap, but I don't want to talk about me. I'm fine, really. I just want to know that you all are okay. I'm so sorry that I hurt you. I'm so sorry to put you through this again. I know this was traumatic for you. Have you been able to check in with your friends? Are you working? Are you taking off work? Like, that's how those conversations are going. It's not about him.
So this is normally, or it's right now? This is how they're going.
This is how they were going when he
Yeah.
was in the facility,
So
and
he's
still
masking.
today. No,
Oh, you don't think
he's
he's masking?
totally nope.
Oh, okay.
I don't get, well, if I'm him and I'm depressed, this is how I'm going to respond to you.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
Yeah.
asking how it did go. My
No,
bad.
no, I was asking like how, like, because people know their baseline. How
Yep.
is it different? Like, what would those
Okay.
conversations look like had you known he was still in like some sort of,
Depressive.
yeah,
Okay.
cycle?
Duh. My bad.
No,
All
no, no,
right.
it's okay.
So if you asked, hey, but how are you feeling? I'm okay. It's just, there's just a lot going on. How are you?
Oh, I mean, I'm okay, but you seem really sad. Like, are you sure you're okay?
Well, I know what I just did, and I know that I'm struggling. I'm just not doing very well, babe.
So there's like very limited information where, like, actually, this is good that you misinterpreted the first time, because what you showed the first time is a normally interactive conversation. It's completely normal. He's like, I'm doing okay. How are the kids? How are you? Like, it's this like interactive, where if he was like still in a depressed cycle, it's still very much like about him and like very like limited non-answers.
Non-answers.
Ah, that's
Yes.
so interesting. I mean, it's not
A lot of
interesting, it's
pauses.
heartbreaking, but like it's insightful. Like,
Oh, it's very.
I would
Yeah.
like the audience to know that, like, my husband doesn't deal with this side of bipolar disorder. And so I'm learning with all of you, which is why I'm asking these questions that I feel everyone else would ask, because I don't know what this looks like.
Yeah. No, I think those are great questions because it's like second nature to me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I describe this in a way that other
Yeah.
people can understand? But yeah, I mean, the tone, if you also heard,
Yeah. The
and
tone
I
was
was
different.
intentionally very like low. There wasn't a lot
Yeah.
of inflection in my voice, and there's a lot of pause in those conversations where you're like, uh,
Yeah.
you
Anything?
know,
Something like, tell me
nothing,
more.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even with masking, he would become, there's an example of my husband masking. Hey babe, how are you feeling? Oh my gosh, I'm great. How are you? I got up so early today. Like he'll completely bypass letting me answer, but he would be like, I got up so super early today, which is so frustrating and so annoying. They wake us up so early here and they gave us meds and vitals and then we just sat around all day and did nothing because of course, but how are you? Right. So like but the tone, you heard the shifts in my voice, how
Yes.
he was trying to like overcompensate.
Yeah, the overcompensate, when I was texting you throughout this episode, I think what struck me is your daughter's response. If you want to share or not share, and you can delete this or not
Yeah,
delete
yeah,
this.
yeah, I can. Yeah. So I think it was a couple days before this happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Jeremy had come in and he was smiley and like, "Hey babe, how are you?" And she was like, "I'm fine. How are you?" And then she was like, "He's not okay." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and you
not."
had like texted me something like, Dad's doing that weird thing with his voice again. Like,
Yes, Dad's doing that weird thing with his voice and his facial expressions again,
and so that's
which is
masking,
mhm,
where what you're witnessing now, like, amazingly, like, thankfully, is
mhm,
not masking and it's not depression. And so, like, we're just so thankful that Jeremy seems to
yeah,
have been stabilized.
yeah, make it make sense. But I do believe I have a theory on that, and
All
that is
right.
because the threat of going inpatient again, and because in all prior episodes, it's not just hospitalization, it's then PHP to
Yeah.
IOP,
Right, right,
right?
right, right.
So it's a long stretch of time for him.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that when he realized that's what was happening, it was like a shift. I mean, he was panicking, full blown panicking also. So there was a lot of stuff happening to his physical body on top of the mental health side. But like, I think he came so close to having a panic attack. But also this was the first time that he had ever been admitted involuntarily,
Yeah, which
not
was
on his
shocking to
terms.
me. Because if you guys are familiar with Brooke's bipolar roller coaster shitstorm, I did not realize he has never been involuntarily committed, which actually led to another interesting conversation between you and I, which
Mm-hmm.
was go ahead and tell me Jeremy's experience in the psych ward.
Okay, so this time around, new facility, and he will never be back. Shame on Knoxville Behavioral for mental health facility. Not once did he get his full medication. Not one time. In fact, they
Unbelievable.
were trying to titrate him up on one of his meds, and they didn't even do that. So he was getting a PRN, antipsychotic for sleep, which was, but it was a scheduled medicine for him. So he would
Okay.
refuse it, and it was noted, but it was his PRN med for mania. So, I mean, I had a long conversation with the caseworker, which didn't happen until Wednesday. And typically speaking, I would get a call within 24 hours of him being admitted saying, this is how he's doing. This is what's going on. Expect a call tomorrow. You know, he's going to have group 3 hours a day. He's going to have, blah, blah, just a rundown. And I got nothing. Until Wednesday
And he
when I
never
talked to the
pulled the
caseworker.
ROI. Like for people
No.
out there, ROI stands for release of information. And a lot of times when our loved ones are in the psych ward, they pull that, which means you're not allowed to. They pull a release of information, meaning that the family members are shut out from talking
Yep.
to any healthcare provider in
Yep.
the facility. So did Jeremy ever pull the ROI this time?
Nope.
Great. So part of that was good, but then it still
Mm-hmm.
didn't really lead to anything productive. So keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. He also never once saw the psychiatrist when he was in there.
Oh my
Make that
God.
make sense.
What? Don't they do rounds every day?
I mean, yeah, they're supposed to.
Wow.
Yeah. So he did see an MD for contact dermatitis on his little wrist. So,
Oh my
so
God.
grateful.
And like
So
that,
grateful they took care of that.
we didn't even talk about the, this is a whole nother episode of his insulin. And I haven't even caught up with you on this.
Yeah, this is crazy too.
Like this is a
When
whole nother podcast, but
it
please
is.
explain this real quick.
Real quick, I learned finally why. Okay, so he let me know, I think it was Tuesday, that his blood sugar had been really high. And this was in the midst of, again, well, let me back up and say this. This is chaotic. I'm sorry, but there's just been so much that's happened.
So well, this
Let me
is real
breathe.
life. If anyone's been through
It
an
is.
episode, this is how it
True.
feels. You feel like a pinball machine. Boom,
Boo,
boom,
boo,
boom,
boo,
boom.
boo. Yep.
Like, oh my
So
God, what
true.
is happening?
We also only got one phone call a day for 8 minutes. One phone
Yes,
call.
which is like you and I were talking about that too. In different states, I have realized different facilities have different rules. And so in Colorado, we've ranged from 5 days a week. We actually in Colorado, in all the facilities, Cody can always call me unless he's like in an active, like unless therapy is supposed to be going on and he's
Yeah.
denying it. But any other time, it's a fight for the phone. So he'll be like, oh, this person was on the phone for an hour and I'm sitting there giving her the stink eye because I want to call my wife. Like it's always that. So I was, yeah, it was a realization for
Shocking.
me where you said that like this is restricted in where you are. And so I'm in Colorado and you're in Tennessee. And I think this must vary then between states.
Yeah, it must, because this is insane. However, at his previous facilities, he's been either one phone call a day or two phone calls a day. The length of time varies, but like it's pretty much been what we're used to. So in his situation this time, Jeremy's situation this time, he would have benefited from talking to us more.
Yeah.
When he's manic, no.
Yeah, right.
No. I mean, in fact, there have been times where he's called and I don't answer because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not, this isn't going well. So no, but this time it would have benefited him. But of course he couldn't. So that
But wait, that's
can help.
confusing because you said this is the first time he's been on an involuntary hold. So what
Mhm.
do you mean by that? Because you're just saying that he has been on it before, but he hasn't?
No, what I'm saying is like, it has nothing to do with him being voluntary or involuntary. His phone time is his phone time. So when
Yeah.
he's been in facilities before, when he's been manic, the phone time or the number of calls per day has varied, and this hasn't changed. So it's either 2 calls a day for 10 minutes or 1 phone call a day for 8 minutes, or whatever that looks like. I may have just said something I didn't mean to say. I don't know what I
No,
said.
no, no. I think what I thought I heard you say is that this is the first time he's been involuntarily committed.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
That is true.
Okay, so that is
Every other time he has gone on his own.
Oh!
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I'm confused. That's the
Yes.
opposite situation
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I'm like, so he has been in a hospital situation,
Oh,
but
yes.
this is the first time that it's been involuntary. That is complete
Yes.
opposite in my household.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. All right. That was
But
the
it kind of
confusion.
makes sense
Yeah,
because
yeah.
when Cody has been manic, of course, nobody's going to get help when they're manic.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jeremy's been depressed
Yes.
mostly.
Okay, this makes sense. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. I'm with you. Sorry.
Yeah. No, no worries. I was like, what the hell did I say?
No,
Couldn't
it
figure
was
it
me.
out.
It was me.
So anyway, the chaos and the timeline is a little odd because again we get like 8 minutes, and he
Yeah.
also wanted to talk to Zoe. Our oldest
Mm.
daughter is in college, so like she's not at the house. He can't make more than 1 phone call, so she didn't get to talk to him,
Mm.
which she's okay with that. So I mean,
Yeah.
she understood. But so yeah, Tuesday he said my blood sugar's been really high, and I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, I don't know, but they wanted me to take insulin. And I said, no, I just wanted to figure out how my body was going to respond on its own because he's never had problems with his blood sugar. And I was like, okay, all right, that's interesting, but I guess we'll find out.
Right. I mean, you're just getting information. There's nothing you can
Yeah,
do with it.
nothing I can do. And then the next day, when I spoke to the caseworker who, number one, lied and said that Jeremy was getting all of his meds. And I was like, oh, really? Can you list those out for me? So she did. And she listed off 2. And I was like,
That's how you
ma'am,
knew she was lying.
that is not his list. And she
You
was like,
told me that
well,
over text, and I was thinking to myself, how does Brooke know he's lying? Or she's lying?
yeah, she
Yeah.
listed off 2. And I said, well, I know that you have the full list of medication because the ER doctor had me review that list before it got faxed over to you.
Wow.
So where are the other medications? And her response was, well, it must be listed in a different spot. And I was like, oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, ma'am.
Wow, Brooke.
And then I said, tell me why my husband is yet to see the doctor. And she said, well, your husband's seeing the doctor every day. And I said, okay, why is he telling me that he's not? And she was like, well, let me check the notes. And what she didn't say, because I finally learned later they're very short staffed, what she should have said was that he saw the MD for his contact dermatitis yesterday. He saw an RN for insulin the prior day. But she told
Unbelievable.
me he's seen a doctor every day. And I
Yeah,
said,
so technically she's correct. And you think he's there for psychiatric care. And she's like, well, he's seen a doctor every day. And it's,
exactly.
oh my God.
Yep. And I was like, what a way to just sweep that one under the rug. And I said, well, I beg to differ with you. And I know my husband's not lying because he's actually stable right now. And I was like, but until you can speak to me like I have some sort of common sense, because this isn't my first rodeo. I know my husband. I know his care. I know his meds. I was like, so either speak to me like I know what I'm talking about because I do, or don't. And she was like, do you have any more questions? And I was like, if I thought you were going
Wow.
to be honest, yeah, I would, but I know that's not how this is going to go. So no, I don't have any more questions.
This is exactly like, I'm glad you're laying this out, honestly, because this is what families deal with. It is such total bullshit. And I hate to get like explicit, but it is.
It
It's
is.
bullshit. And this is what all of us go through. And it doesn't matter if you're the spouse or a parent or whatever. Like, it is
Yep.
so maddening. And like,
Yes.
you're there trying to advocate for your person and you can't. And at least Jeremy was of I don't want to say sound mind, but he was of enough mind to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes they aren't.
So most of the
Sometimes,
time they're not.
most of the time they're
Most of
not.
the time they're not.
Yeah.
That's why they're there.
Yes,
Hello,
that's why
you
they're
know?
there. Yep. And then you get to get gaslit as the family member and the staff to be like, well, you're the problem and blah, blah, blah. And they had to pull the art. Like, I've so been there so many times. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable. But anyway, continue.
it is unbelievable. But I mean, I just told the lady on the phone, I said, that's fine. I'm just going to make sure I get there early and I'll request a copy of his medical records before we leave
Yes, I love
when I
that.
pick him up
I've done that
on
too.
Friday.
I'm like, that's fine. I get a copy of the medical records. Like,
It's
let's
fine.
look. Yep, let's see the
Yeah,
medications you actually gave them.
perfect. Yeah. Oh,
Well, people
but
should
I
know
also,
that you can do
yeah,
that. If you have an
absolutely.
ROI, a lot of times they pull it. But if you have the ROI, request the medical records.
Yes. Do not leave until you have them.
Yes.
Do not leave until you have them.
Yep.
Because if you leave, you will not get them
Yep.
unless you go back in person and demand them. And then they don't have to actually do anything for you because you don't have any leverage.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't bring your person, well, they have to sign this form. Well, I have an ROI and it's a
I
whole thing.
know. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that's kind of how that stay went. And I will say,
I derailed you though. Sorry, hold on. You were talking about insulin and potentially.
yes,
Yeah, sorry. I derailed that.
you're good. You're good. So with the insulin thing coming back on Wednesday, why didn't the caseworker also mention that he's been receiving insulin? Why didn't the caseworker indicate that he had an A1C of over 7.7? Why?
Oh my God. That is
She
so
said nothing.
high.
Yes. That
Wow.
at one point his blood sugar went up to I think it was 393 or 383.
Wow. I was
Um
telling my husband about that, and he said over 400. Like my husband has diabetes. For those out there, diabetes too. And when he was diagnosed, his was a little. I think he said 420ish. Like it was over 400. And so Jeremy was very close to
very
being
close.
very, very sick with it.
Yes. Yes. I think he's received a total of 8 units of insulin. He's like, I don't know how much that is. I just know that's what they gave me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so what do we do with this? But like, I mean, I'm picking you up on a Friday. We don't have a way of checking your blood sugar. Like, I don't have insulin. Like,
Yeah,
I
and
can't
that's
just
what I
go
was
buy
going
it
to
at
ask you
Walmart.
now because like he got discharged to you, so you weren't as like when he discharged, not to spoiler alert, like Brooke was pleasantly surprised, shockingly, not pleasantly, maybe shockingly surprised to realize that Jeremy was at his baseline mentally, but what happened with the insulin?
So one of the ladies at work, she also has diabetes. And when I was explaining the situation, because I was asking her questions about it, she just pulled out a kit, a traveling kit, travel size kit. I don't know what you call them. Anyway, and she was like, here, just take this. This is my
Wow.
4th. Like, I have 4 of these. I don't need 4. I haven't used this one. So here. So she pulled it out and put in new needle thingies on the tip and showed me how to use it. And I was like,
But
okay, I'll
they
bring it
didn't
back to
like
you.
give him an exit plan?
No,
Oh
Laura, they
my
gave him
God.
nothing.
What in the This
They
is
set him up.
reality. This is
Yep.
reality. I mean, I should not act surprised. I'm sitting here acting like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened." No, this is what happens.
It happens a
This
lot.
is mental health care in this country, and like, God forbid. I even told my husband, I think a day or two ago, I'm like, well, Jeremy was on the psych ward, so he happened to have some sort of maybe diabetes issue, but that's not their wheelhouse, and no one communicates with each other. God forbid
Nope.
you do that because of HIPAA or whatever the hell the reason why they don't communicate with each other. And so we're just, yeah, you have this high blood sugar, so good luck, but we think you're good mentally, so
Have a good
bye-bye.
day. See
Right.
ya.
Like, it's not unbelievable if you live this system.
But it's unbelievable at the same time.
Yes.
It really is. It really is. And I will say, I mean, this place that he was at made the other facilities he's been to look like a 5-star fucking hotel. Excuse my friend, but it is true.
Yeah, I believe you.
It really is. Because we left every facility in prior episodes with a plan, with discharge paperwork, with this is the facility for him to start PHP. It starts on Monday, which was in 3 days, and you have to be there at 8 a.m. Here's the address. Like, here's the stuff. This place, nothing.
Well, I
Nothing.
will tell you that now I'm very enlightened because as much as I know you, I don't know you as, as much as like we think we do. And so to know that Jeremy was voluntarily held during those times that you had that plan, this is the rule in my world. Like when Cody is discharged from the hospital, there's always if I have an ROI, which is always who the fuck knows if Cody's going to give it to me. But if I have it, the social worker will be like, oh, we have a plan. We're going to make sure we have this good outpatient plan. He's going to be, there's never a plan. There's never a plan. And I even recently, I have a good friend whose son just went through the system who was 18 and she's the aunt, so she's limited in what she can do. And she was appalled too that her nephew had an attempt and then he went into a psychiatric hospital here in Colorado and then he was exited and everyone was promised he would have a plan. And there was a plan, but guess what? They were so backed up, the dad could never get through to a live person. And after 20 to 30 times of trying, they gave up. So there,
There
excuse me,
was no
there was
plan.
no plan. Yeah, there was no plan.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's really just for the good of the group. Like in prior episodes, I was adamant because I knew my husband wasn't a baseline. That's very important here. I knew he was not a baseline in prior episodes where he was hospitalized and then had to do step down treatment plans. He had to progressively reintegrate into the home. It was
Yeah, so
That's
this
how
is new
every other one has
territory for
been.
you.
Yes. To
Yeah.
pick him up and just go home. I'm sorry, what? What? I was like,
Well,
this feels so
that's the
weird.
other thing. That's how I have always felt, and that's always felt so weird is
Yeah.
that like they're in a they go from being in a highly concentrated, secure, safe facility with professionals who are versed in psychiatric care
Or
and
so
that
they should
or
be.
so they should be, and then he's suddenly released to my home where I
Mm-hmm.
know nothing. I have
And
no
they're free to do
training.
whatever.
They're
Yeah.
free to do it. I have no training. I don't know
Yep.
what's going on, and I'm supposed to understand what to do, how to
Mm-hmm.
react. Like, it is so crazy that this is the system that we're in.
It really is. It
Which is
really
why
is.
you and I are here. Like, you and I are kindred spirits because we've done the reading, the education. Like, we recognize that was an issue,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's not even other people don't recognize it's an issue. It's like your capacity for doing it. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people's capacity are spent. I mean, people tell me
Yeah.
that on my TikTok. They're like, I have no more to give.
To
I
give.
don't
Mm-hmm.
have the energy to learn. I am exhausted. I cannot do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it's valid. You and
Yeah.
I both,
Absolutely.
we're both here wanting, people with bipolar disorder to have the support of their family. But you and I also recognize some people's capacity is spent, and we understand
Mm-hmm.
that's okay too.
And that there's no judgment there.
Yeah, no judgment there.
Like if you don't have the capacity to provide your person with the love, empathy, kindness, and support, then you're not going to be helping them. You'll just be hurting them.
Yes.
So it doesn't
Yep.
make sense to
So it
stay.
is better to go. Yeah.
Yeah,
When you
absolutely.
don't have that capacity.
Yep. And there's no judgment. You
No.
can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
Right. So
100%.
yeah. I'll tell you one more gross part about this facility. This man wore the same pair of underwear the entire time he was there. They never gave him any of his clean clothes.
And you brought him clean clothes?
He went with clean clothes. Yeah. He went with all of his meds too. They were just locked in a locker.
That is
Disgusting.
despicable. Wow.
Yep. And he was so embarrassed when I picked him up.
Oh.
And I felt so bad for him because he was like, they didn't even have soap in the soap dispensers.
Oh my
So like
gosh.
I washed with water for the first 2 days.
Gosh.
Yeah. And this, for the record, is a newer facility. I think it opened in 2022, 23.
Regardless of whether you're manic or depressive, hygiene is the first thing typically to be neglected.
Yep.
Unbelievable that they would have a facility. Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's unbelievable, and I say that, but it's not.
It's not, but it's
It's
also
not.
like how? But also I learned later that this place was short staffed. They had one caseworker for 24 patients. Not good. And obviously maybe no psychiatrist on staff at the moment. I don't know. But I have a plan there to file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau because this is not okay.
No.
Like, my husband was of sound mind to know
Yeah.
enough that, like, he got food, yes. But, like,
Yeah.
imagine if not imagine, there are other people in the facility that don't have people
Yeah.
to support them.
I think that all the time when I go to visit, when there's
Yeah.
visitation hours, like Cody gets me to visit him. There's so many people that don't even have a visitor.
Yeah, we were never told about visiting hours. Never told.
Were there any?
Apparently on Wednesday from
Wow. And
10
you
to
weren't told.
11. No, I knew nothing about it.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how the stay went. And I will say, because I know this people are probably like, yeah, we've experienced something similar to that. But I'll talk a little bit about, and I'll end probably with this, which would be like how Zoe was attached to me. Zoe was Velcro to my side the entire time after we left the hospital. She slept with me every single day. You know, she has generalized anxiety disorder also. But there was something to be said about the fact that Jeremy was not physically harmed. So there was a level of separation between, you know, feeling these overwhelming feeling of, well, unfortunately, death. Am I going to lose my dad? Versus I'm going to lose my dad for a period of time, but he's coming back and he's fine physically, you know? So, but she was very, very, very attached, which I get it. And we talked about it at length in ways that she wanted to communicate. There were times she didn't want to talk about it. There were times she did. And I would just encourage all of you parents to open that door, give them that safe space. I mean, I told her, I was like, I don't care what cuss words you use, cuss, scream, yell into a pillow, go kick the ball. Like, I don't care what it looks like, but you have to let that out. You have to let all of that out. And I was like, there's no judgment. You're not going to get in trouble. Like, but I need you to talk. I need you to talk to me about it. So we did that. Watch movies. You know, all the things. But my point in saying that is you have to give your kids an outlet for sure. And she already has a therapist. And if Jeremy would have caused harm to his physical body, it would have been an emergency therapy session for her, hands down, without question. But because we were able to talk through it, and I'm confident in my ability to read her, she just didn't want to be away from me because the lingering fear for her would be, what if I lose both parents, right? So I had to mitigate that a little bit, but give them that safe space. But what that meant for me is I had zero alone time. Every time I got up, Laura, it was, where are you going?
Yeah.
I just have to go pee. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you going? I'm going to go let the dogs out, or I'm going to go put the dogs up, or I'm going to go feed the cats. Oh, okay. I'll come help you. You know, so, and I understand it. I get it. But there were moments where I just wanted to be like,
Yeah.
I need a minute, you know. And she only went to school for 2 hours one day, and then she had a golf tournament Wednesday. So I did get time to myself, so to speak, Thursday, but I went to work. I was on site. So I was surrounded by, you know, people, and I get it. I mean, I get it, but it was just like, I literally went and hid in the bathroom at work and just, you know, just sat there. Cause I was just like, I just need a minute to not be needed. I just need a minute to not be needed. And I didn't have, nothing happened emotionally. I wasn't processed. I just wanted nothing. I just wanted nothing and not to be needed. So if I could go back, I would definitely take my my sister-in-law up on, can we come get Zoe for a little bit? Blah blah blah. Yeah, please do that, because she'll be occupied, she'll be busy. And I didn't, because she was so like needed me to be there for her. But I know she would have been fine if she would have gone with them at the same time. So like, it's hard. It's hard to, am I making the best decisions? Am I doing the right thing? You know, I don't feel like cooking. I'm ordering dinner. Is she going to care? No, she's not going to care. She just wants to eat, you know, like.
I don't know if you were able to or had the space, probably not, to listen to my episode last week after I followed up on you, but yeah, everything you just said right now, I just really resonated with, because in the moment, that is exactly how I am too. My therapist is always like, how can you do this? Like, how can you she calls it compartmentalizing my life. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I have no idea, but I
It just
am,
happens.
yeah, like I'm able to compartmentalize, like, this is what's going on at home. And then I have to show up for my kids, and I have to show up for my job, and I have to show up for this. And like, yes, this is over here, like literally screaming at me, but I can while I
Turn it
have to
off.
deal with, yeah, while I have to deal with these. And
Hmm.
she's like, that's really amazing. I don't know how you do it. And like, to hear that from a therapist, I wouldn't say it's invalidating. It's just like, wait, that's weird. Like, other people can't do it. And then I see my family worry about me, and like, as we've talked about, we know why they worry, and it's not helpful to us, like, for them to say
Right.
those words. But it was very much a third person perspective from me to watch you go through this and see everything people have seen in me. And I'm
Yeah.
just in awe. Like, even
Yeah.
just you talking now, I had no words. I don't even think I said to you in like 7 minutes. I think I was speechless. And it's
Yeah.
just because I was like, holy shit. Like, that
Yeah.
is exactly what I do, but like, you just do it. Like, I saw someone on TikTok that was like, someone said you don't know how strong you are until you had to be. And he's like, well, what was my choice? Go jump off a cliff?
Yeah.
Was that my
Just
choice?
lay
Because that
down.
wasn't a choice. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I had to keep going. And like, that's what I
Hmm.
see you do. And it's so interesting because I've never seen myself through those eyes either. But I think that's what we both do. And yeah, Zoe's not special needs, but I have a daughter who's special needs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she always needs me in that capacity. And especially when things like this happen, she needs me even more so. And I just completely relate to like you get a text and she's like, just give me a minute. Like, and I'm screaming inside my body, like, I need a
Yep.
minute. And then on the
Yep.
outside, I'm like, yeah, honey, it's okay. Like, like,
Yep.
I'm like calm, and like, you show up, and,
Yep.
um,
You do.
yeah, amazing. Like, I
It
don't
really
know.
is.
No, I mean, I'm not even trying to commend myself. Like, I just,
No, it just is.
it,
It just is. Like, I know you're not, but I don't know how we do it
I don't know how
either.
we
And
should do it. And I
like
only
I,
really, really see it when I watched you do it. I know people tell me all the time,
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I'm strong, I'm strong, I'm strong. But then, like, watching you do it, I was like, wait, but no, really. Wait, but no, really. How did she
yeah,
do this?
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just is. I think one of the hardest things for me, and I also have ADHD, so like
Yes.
I will respond to people in my brain and check that box and move on, and then I get like a hello, and I'm like, oh shit, so sorry. So at this time around, like I didn't even communicate with my husband's parents. I didn't even tell my sister-in-law to like, I just didn't.
Yeah.
And his mom
It's like
called
an
me.
added step.
Yeah.
It's like, even like you said, next time you maybe would let your sister-in-law, sorry, I'm interrupting you, but next
Oh,
time
go
you would
ahead.
let the sister-in-law take Zoe, at the time, like, people are like, well, what can we do? And that's what I said in our episode last week.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, I know that it comes from a good place too. What can I do? What can I do? It just feels like another thing now that I have to do is to
Yeah.
tell you what to help, how to help me.
Yep.
It's not worth it. It's
It's
not
not worth
worth
it.
it. I'm just going to handle it.
I get, decision fatigue. I don't want to have to make
Yes.
another decision.
Yes.
Even if I know that I can make that decision, I don't want to deal with it.
Nope.
Just don't.
Nope.
And I have to give a shout out to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law who, when I was at the tournament with Zoe, which was God love her, it was a shit show. And not her fault. She had a lot going
No, of
on, obviously.
course.
That's her and Jeremy's thing. And I'm trying to drive this golf cart to place. Anyway, she has an accommodation because she has knee issues. So I had to like drive to her ball, but not close enough. And then I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm like on this golf course and there's signs that are like, oh, go the other way. And I'm like,
Oh no.
so she's having to tell me what to do. It was a whole thing. Anyway, while we were there, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and my nephew came to the house, and they mowed our yard. They weed eated the whole thing.
Oh.
We just had the roof done not that long ago. They just finished. Well, they actually just finished Saturday because they've missed a spot. Anyway, um, he came over. Yeah, he did all that. I didn't ask. He brought all of his stuff. He didn't ask me. He just said, "Let me know if there's a way I can get in your house." And I was like, "Oh, yep, there is."
Yep. That
You know,
is
he
the
did it.
hallelujah. Whoever those people
Yes.
you are talking about right now. that
Yeah,
it
his
doesn't
sister.
matter what it is. And that's what I said on my podcast last week. I was
Mhm.
like, it doesn't matter what you do. If you do anything that you perceive as maybe being helpful,
Just do it.
it is so helpful. It's
Yeah,
so
I mean,
like relieving. Like just people notice, even if we do, we're like, thank God, thank you for
yeah,
noticing
thank you so
this.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And his sister, God love her, when they were all at the house Sunday, after Jeremy was located and taken to the emergency room, came back to the house because I asked the triage nurse, I was like, am I going to be able to see him anytime soon? She was like, probably not. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to know if I needed to stay or if I could go home and pack his bag, yada, yada. She was like, yeah, go ahead. So that's what I did. I came home and my kids were here, Jessica was here. That's his sister. His parents were here. My niece was here, Jade. And, then they just want to ask all the questions, which I get it. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But at one point, somebody said something about the laundry room. I was like, oh, I finally finished the floor, blah, blah, blah. So we went to the laundry room. She was like, oh my God, that's so pretty, blah, blah, blah. And then she turned and she was like, oh, and she's looking at our sunroom. And this is where Jeremy spends most of his time when he is depressed. He's just out there chain smoking. Okay. He also has GERD, so he gets acid reflux a lot. And unfortunately, and this is just part of depression, he'll just throw up and not clean it up.
Oh God.
So she just happens to look out there and she's like, wow. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to apologize for it. Like, I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no, I don't mean that. I just mean like, wow, like this is a true reflection of how he's feeling inside. And
Yeah.
this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So that Wednesday night when I was with Zoe at her tournament, she cleaned that entire sunroom.
Oh, yeah, that's what we need.
Yeah.
See something and just do it. Like that's because asking me and then for me to think it's not
I
no.
don't want to coordinate it.
No.
And he also replaced our toilet. TJ went to Lowe's and got our toilet, assembly
Wow.
toilet. Yeah. He's a very handy man. Anyway, it was fantastic. So big shout out to them.
Yes.
And people checking in. I get it. It's fantastic. Just know, I think one of the things to remember in these moments would be like, if you are checking in with somebody who's going through something like this, give them the time and space to respond when they're ready, because
Yeah.
they're doing a lot of stuff. Like I'm at work or I'm trying to not be in wife mode and I just need a minute. And it's not that we're ignoring you. No, I can't respond in this very moment. And I don't really want to be like, I'm fine,
Yeah.
because I know that's not what you're after. Right. So, that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
thing.
I had texted you something like thinking of you, and
Mm-hmm.
I almost wanted to add no need to respond, but I knew you already understood that.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
thinking of you is just like, there's no need
Enough.
to respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally, totally, totally. So yeah, now we're in the other thing I was going to say, that's new, but we talked about coming home from the hospital and like, you're just supposed to just reintegrate into
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not. My husband's not driving anywhere solo. He did today, but he was with Zoe. He took her to the golf course. I know he's fine when he's with somebody else. Now I know he's at baseline. This is a me thing. This
Yep.
is I need to get more comfortable with
Yep.
him being solo and driving. So, I mean, when we got back on Friday, we had to go drop off a check to the roofers. No, you're going with me and I have to go to Lowe's. He didn't want to go to Lowe's. I don't care. You're going and we're going together.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, I understand. Very, very much understanding of that whole thing and understood that I just need time.
Yeah.
And, he also needs time to be out in the free world and not daydreaming about being out in the free, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just takes some time.
I mean, like people, this is maybe a poor comparison, but I think it's a fair comparison. It's people who are in jail who feel the same way.
Mhm.
They come out, they've been incarcerated. Everything has been carefully curated and
Mhm.
scheduled, and then they come out and they're just supposed to like figure it out.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
what? What?
Yeah. And
yeah.
imagine like looking at your phone and all of a sudden you have like 37 missed calls, 48 text messages,
Yes,
and
that too.
a
Oh my
lot of them
God,
are,
that's like brings back memories. Yep.
yeah,
You
a
open
lot
up
of
your
them are
phone,
about
ding, ding,
like,
ding, 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 ding. Yes.
and just this thing, a lot of them were about the incident that happened where nobody could find
Yes.
you.
Oh my God, I
You don't want to
know.
look at that straight away,
No, you
right?
do
Like,
not.
let's not. So yeah, needless, I don't know. We're he cooked dinner yesterday. That's his thing. He
Aw.
cooks. So like, he's
Yay.
just, it's fantastic, but I am trying to just enjoy my stable husband being stable. But it's hard. It's so hard because I don't like, my mind and my body are not in sync,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm physiologically responding
Yep.
to this trauma.
Yep.
Mentally, I'm seeing him and I know he's safe and I
Yep.
know he's stable. So I'm like, I'm not sure. I need more time. Like I'm working from home tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to be able to go to work and know that he's safe, even though I know he's stable. I just need time, and
Yep.
luckily my job is allowing me to do that.
Yeah, I'm
So
thankful that for you too.
yeah. So yeah, that's the update, y'all. I know that was probably longer than expected, but we could talk about this for hours.
Oh, we
Frankly, we
could.
really could, but I don't want to do that to y'all. So
Well, I think it was a wonderful update. I'm glad the update is like largely positive, obviously, and I know everyone
yeah,
else feels that same way. So, we just,
yes,
continue to give Jeremy all the love, everything about it. Do you need back here? My husband is being creepy. He's being bipolar. If you're watching this, he's being super, super weird.
yeah.
Cody, this is a heavy
Welcome, Cody.
topic.
So funny. He's just lightening the load.
Yeah, if listeners know, I usually don't do it down here in the general area. I'm like always hiding in our room or office. Now they know why.
Now they know why, Cody. Way to go.
I know you're not triggered, Cody. I'm just saying, like, you will be the one to sabotage. Okay, anyways, Brooke, we should wrap this up. So,
Let's wrap it up.
let's wrap it up.
Yes.
I'm so glad Jeremy is doing better. I'm so glad you're doing better. I always
Thank
talk
you.
about seasons. I just posted that in our Facebook group. If you are looking for more support, we have a Facebook group called BipolarLines Pod. It is a support group that, like we said, is specifically curated for people who watch this podcast. And what I posted today is that good times, the spring, when everything's happy and sunny, is temporary, and then the very next picture is a storm, and it reminds us that that is always temporary. And for some reason, it just speaks especially to us who love someone with bipolar disorder, because there are those poles of highs and lows, and it's so important to remember it's all temporary. And like I told Brooke, and she said, I'm trying my damnedest to do it. Jeremy is better. Enjoy the fuck out of it right now. And she's trying.
Yep.
And it's
trying.
hard because the body keeps the score, and the body has
Yep.
that anxiety reaction. And then, conversely, when the times are really bad, like, you just want to remember it is still a season. It is still temporary, no matter how long it seems to be wrecking your life. So there is that Facebook group. You can find me, the BP spouse, on TikTok. Brooke is at
break_the stigma on TikTok as well. If you want to watch us do this thing called recording a podcast, we're on YouTube. Same handle, BipolarLines Pod. And we drop episodes every other week on Wednesdays, so you can listen to us anytime. We've got a lot of episodes. We're on season 2 now.
Season 2!
Yay!
This is episode 2 of season 2. Yes. I can't believe we've been doing this for over a year.
That's crazy.
But I'm grateful.
Crazy. Same. Loving it. Loving the support. But yeah, I think that we covered everything. Obviously, we have so many other topics coming up, so stay tuned for more, come back for more, and
even suggest more in the comments. What do you want to hear about? What do you want us to talk about? What issues are you dealing with in your personal life that you would like us to speak to? Because after all, this isn't, a therapist giving you advice. This is us living our real life, telling you what we did. See you next time.